Okay.
Sean figures his life out. I can't tell you all, but it is working, and it's looking cool.
Okay,
Okay.
It's giving me Elder Scrolls 1 vibes.
Right. It's up on the stream. People can see it.
probably you can do whichever one you want. It's all pretty quick.
Okay, I mean, do you have a recommendation? Because otherwise I'm going to
Go
be
with
too short.
medium. Medium's
Okay,
a little
medium.
more design. I
Okay.
did a lot of short because it's quicker to debug and test.
Okay. Enemies scale with tower level. What kind of game is this?
So it's a bit more of a simulation game. What you do is you place rooms, and then a group of adventurers enter the tower, and you do a story. Once you finish a story, then you can build the next story of the tower.
Wow, that doesn't sound like anything I've ever experienced.
Yes, we're iterating ideas. So this is both liqMix and my own project. So 2 people on this one. So able to branch out a little. So you might want to fix the cropping of the capture.
Oh, sure. Yeah, sort it out. It's
Yeah. Just give me a second. That was suddenly wider than I expected.
It was designed with like 720p in mind. Just for, I mean, it can go to other resolutions, but things can get
This is full widescreen.
Just going to take the chat off the screen.
Do any of these games play on mobile?
Okay, in the build on the stuff I was working on that's not part of this, I actually added touch controls, and it does start and run not very well, at least in the browser. If I targeted native Android or iOS, it would actually probably work.
Okay. So anyway, this is my building. I imagine what you see on the stream is probably a bit behind, but I'm looking at a building,
Right.
and there's like pizza slices of the building. Is that right?
Yeah. So I recommend using Q and E to rotate the tower. There's also the buttons.
Ooh, it's 3D.
Yeah. Doing some fun trickery. And then you have your rooms list on the right, so you select one of those and place it.
Is it actually 3D, by the way? Is this a 3D model?
No, it is not. So it's some trickery. Basically, it's a concept of sprite stacks. So like you could almost think of it as voxels or something. But in effect, what's happening is I'm rendering a bunch of sprites on top of each other with slight offsets. And then during a final render pass, I'm doing some stretching to give a faux 3D perspective. If you want, you can hit the buttons 1, 2, and 3, which are different camera modes. So you can kind of see.
Oh,
wow, that's sick.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
Trickery. But yeah,
that is cool. All right, cool. So, do I drag and drop a pizza slice into the building?
You can just click on one of them, and then you can click to place it. So when you click that, a dialog should appear. There's obviously delay in what I'm seeing.
Yeah. So I've clicked it says engage with enemies to gain gold and experience required.
Yeah, so you always have to place 2 bad tiles or rooms.
Okay. Oh, I did not mean to place second one, but it is what it is. I
can click again to unplace. If you want.
It's okay. That's where it lives now. I don't believe it. It's destiny. This is.
It's set in stone.
Heals 25% of your health. Costs 50 gold. Where's my gold at the top? 750. Right. What does this do? Restores your equipment uses. Oh, I'll put this here. What's up with this kind of blank wall that I can't see through?
So that is the stairs. It's the way that you get to the next story, or the dudes that you have, how they get to the next.
Okay.
And you call them dudes in the code as well, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The one time when I joined your stream and I saw that there was a thing called dudes in there.
Yeah, I like to entertain myself when I code. Do stuff, give things silly names.
Okay, so I mean I've like fully decked out this place now.
Yeah, so once you have that done, it's adventure forth.
Adventure forth, okay. Oh, look, they're going! Oh, some of them are not having a great time. Okay, ooh. Very funky.
Yeah,
I mean, look, if they get completely murdered, that's fine, because I can just tell myself that I'm the dungeon master and I'm playing against them.
Yes. You could be so cruel. So there is actually a way that you manage your dudes. So at the top left, you can click on the individual characters, and they actually have a full 3-slot gear system.
Wow.
And you can micromanage that. It can be a little tedious, but yeah, if you actually click on one to focus, it'll bring up the equipment list.
Yeah.
You don't have any loot at the moment, but if you have loot at the bottom, you can swap out what they have.
Okay, so loot is stuff you pick up, and is equipment just what they start off with, or
the loot is equipment. I used loot there because of space limitations for UI.
well, because nothing's showing up in the loot section, but each each dude does have like leather armor or a bow and a short sword and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, you can scroll down the dudes list a bit. There's a chance that actually somebody in the Discord, their name is on this. That's one of the guys.
Okay, well, let's see. We've got Sexburger, which is the name of a saint.
Yeah, so these are Latinized names from, I think, 1700s or 1600s in the U.S. So it's like they're transcripts of Latinized names.
It's just I know someone that when they were thinking of I don't think they did, but you know, getting a Christian name, and you have to choose the name of a saint, and Sexburger happened to be
but they didn't choose that one, right?
They did not.
I mean, I know a guy who's called Bonyface, but Sexburger was on another level.
So Albinus,
names in there.
Hestera, Beniamus. How many dudes do I have?
There's 8 total.
How many Yeria, or I don't know if that is. What is the second letter in that? Y, and something looks like an I or an L, but wouldn't make sense if it was either of those. When this loads on your screen, tell me what this yeah, it's there. What is that?
That's a good question. That Y is a little funky there.
Yeah, it's probably just a decoration.
Okay. But
yeah, you can see they're like different classes.
Okay, yeah, see cleric, ranger, knight, rain. Okay, cool. Let's move forward.
Who's famous?
And engage with enemies and gain some gold. Yeah, let's do that. How do I do it again? Click.
Yep, and then you can just place it in a free spot.
And we'll heal health in between, and increase your equipment level by 1. Why not? What do I have here? Enemies. Restore equipment uses. What is equipment uses?
That is basically, I think each time you go through the tower, items can have effects. So some are like heal on crit or heal on room enter. That uses up a use of the item, but once they fully get through the tower, it recharges. But once in a while, you'd want to put those equipment recharge stations as they traverse the tower.
Right, but I currently don't really have anything that does that, do I?
So as they go through, they can find equipment and stuff like the library or the armory. They can get upgrades. I think the library specifically can roll an enchantment on an item, so that would give it uses.
Okay. And a pittance, is that like some money or?
Yeah, so basically when the dudes go through these rooms, the effects of the rooms go off. So in the case of a treasure room, they pick up gold.
Okay, but I've only got $77, so I can't afford either of these rooms, right? So
Correct.
how do I just start? Yeah,
You
okay,
just
yeah, it's
hit
covered
Adventure
by
Forth.
the Adventure Forth.
liqMix in the chat says clerics start with heal on room enter, by the way. Did you two collaborate in this game?
Yes, we made this one together.
Yeah.
You can click on a dude to focus them, and the camera will follow them.
What, like up here?
The dude list, like how you bring up the equipment.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, once through the tower, obviously not.
Fight a tremendous enemy. Cost 0. Yes, why not? Oh, maybe I should restore my equipment uses first. Oh well. I'm broke, lol. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, sure. Let's go. I didn't think that they would start at the bottom every time.
Yeah, it's part of the idea of purgatory in a way. They're constantly doing the same thing.
Okay, so this is a big fight happening here, allegedly. Oh, what is that? Oh, is that a water buffalo? What is that?
It's a very interesting rat.
Yeah, it looked like a giant stretched out rat. That was incredible. So they were waiting at the door before entering so they could go in together, I guess.
Yep. Alright, so now you're down to 4 dudes. Bunch died. You can buy dudes by clicking the random dude button. Their price changes based on how many guys you have.
Okay. I'm gonna buy a dude. I'll buy 2 dudes.
In chat, Tina suggests for the next run, try changing the camera a bit.
Yeah, so you can go up and down between stories with W and S, or the arrows on screen.
Oh, what was the button to? Oh yeah, 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I found it fun to do like the room view, the zoomed in one. Just gotta get it close.
Look, there we go. There's the mandatory
every game's got to have it.
meme prawn
Yes.
thing.
Yep, the evidence there.
Okay. Trap room. I'm gonna start with a healing. Oh well, I say start with. Obviously, they don't start with these rooms. They start at the bottom again.
But yeah,
no, I can't afford.
A good idea
I don't have enough
to
money.
heal after that boss room.
I don't have enough money. Pittance, give me pittance. Why am I having difficulty? I'm just being silly with my mouse. I don't know what's up.
Oh, change the story focus. So like hit W to scroll up. The placement focus is based upon the camera. So if your view is a little too downwards,
Right, okay.
it'll get a little funky.
Okay, we're just gonna put some enemies here, whatever.
Just realized the music isn't coming through. Oh no, that's because I'm using the Google Meet thing. That's why.
Yeah, sorry about that. We can hear the music in the
right.
Twitch stream. It's cool. It's chilled.
Yeah, the music is based upon the placed rooms. Basically, different
What?
audio levels go up or down. So it's based on rotation in the rooms you have. I don't fully know exactly how it works. As liqMix did that.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you can kind of call it, like as Zyko said, an auto battler a little bit, with some micromanagement.
I keep on feeling like my clerics are actually sheep. They're just like the little pictures just look like sheep to me. Oh, well, they're dead.
Ah, liqMix says camera distance to room determines the pan and the volume. So
I've got one
presumably,
person left.
the closer you get to the room, the louder it'll be. And Zyko's asking if it was last minute. I guess that was referring to the canvas painting with the Ebitengine logo on it. Otherwise, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not certain. That was when it was it was sometime last week when I was just making rooms look nicer, not just having flat colors and whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to put it on the wall. It was probably like 2 days before the jam was done.
And at the bottom, that scrolling text, is that saying like everything that's happening, like as if it would be like a NetHack game?
To expand it. But yeah, it just shows all the details of who's taking what damage, picking up what.
Cool.
So I'm not speaking a lot. I'm just paying attention to what's happening.
You're mesmerizing.
Yeah, I found myself enjoying it a bit too much, just watching the dudes go through the tower.
So there's no 3D models in this entire thing.
No. Yeah, so like the way to imagine it is like, like in something like Minecraft, if you drew like a person with blocks from like bottom to the top, it's like that, but each vertical layer is a separate image, sprite. And then when they're rendered, you place the bottom sprite, so like the first part of the foot, and then next render you place like the shins, but you offset its render position. And you just keep doing that, and it creates a faux 3D effect. And then in this case, we're applying an additional effect to make it so that, you can get this like skewed camera view or room view. But yeah, it's all 2D, just with the affine
that is mind-blowing for the brain of someone that doesn't do any programming. That's I mean, it sounds like quantum physics.
It must have taken a while to do.
No, I've already been working on stuff in this regard with this technique because it makes doing certain types of art for games easier. And specifically, I have my own tool that can make these graphics.
Okay. I was going to ask,
so
like,
that made it a lot easier.
So you wouldn't even call this the main innovation of this game then? You've got like a library, a tool that does this art, and you could do it, and then you could focus on other things like the mechanics that you wanted in this particular game.
Right. I mean, the harder part was getting all the logic for rooms, and honestly, there's a lot of magic numbers with how clicking works and where the text floating to like map all of that. But yeah, like the actual editor part, that was all. Well, I worked on the editor while developing this because I wanted to use it in a use the tool to be able to figure out issues with your designs, or like, okay, I can't copy and paste, this sucks. Yeah. The actual rendering, I just implement it like fresh each time because it's a simple idea. You just load in your sprites, parse the data out, and then tell it to render at these offsets.
Let's see, in the chat, Psycho says, even for someone doing programming, and that's probably when I was saying this is all crazy. Yeah, this is chilled. I'm glad that I can buy more dudes because I thought that my game was over quite early.
Yeah. So one thing you might want to do, and we added in like the later updates, like stuff like auto equipping. It can be a little tedious, but like say in your loot list you have like a rare dagger.
Oh yeah, I forgot about loot entirely.
Yeah. So you'd probably want to select some like a. Whoever can, I think everyone can equip that. I can't remember.
So let's see. I probably is a ranger, and when you say ranger, is that specifically an archery character, or is that because that could, in my mind, could also be someone that uses the rare dagger?
I believe so. You could just try to equip it to that dude. See, this is where I'm not 100%. This is where liqMix handled a bunch of this stuff. So I'm not 100%.
Swap to dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think I've given him a rare dagger. I'm not sure.
Let's see.
And this guy, hold on.
liqMix says in the chat the dagger is equipable by everybody.
Okay, so at the top, oh, these are both rangers. I thought that they were not because they're different colors. Right,
yeah, their equipment actually shows up on them, and the rarity or quality of the gear actually changes the color of the
right
armor.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna give
in there.
What is this? That's a knight. That's a knight. Do I have a cleric to give a book to? Knight, vagabond. Oh, see, I think the vagabond is the guy that wants a dagger. And I don't even have a cleric. What's it? Ranger, knight. Okay.
It's funny recognizing some people from the Discord chat as dude names. Read out this along. Rangers just have low confidence, which means they get hit by the boss last, like they're at the back of the party. And you can have more than 8 dudes.
Yeah, I have had 10, but they died. But it also gets more expensive when you try and buy more dudes. But
boosted the game volume a bit for the people listening on the stream.
Yeah, you should be able to, if you want to clear things that are selected, I think escape should close them all. Or just placing it at that extent.
What is this? Last treasure room. Costs 1,000. What? I didn't even think I'd be able to place that. Oh well. Okay, cool. Let's go. Oh, required room. Oh. There's nowhere to place this.
Yeah, so you'd have to remove one of your rooms.
Okay.
One of the medium ones in this case. So you want the library or the gold?
Still got all 10 of my dudes.
Nice.
So crew's separated out a bit.
That's the aspect of agility. It also increases your movement speed.
So they've got separate movement speeds.
Yeah.
Well, at least they're all polite when it comes to waiting for each other. Oh, one dude's dead. Oh. Okay. I'll put healing first. then boss. Although maybe I should have done it the other way around. Oh, healing again. Nice. Another dude. I'm just gonna go all out on dudes. Okay.
Yeah, you have quite a bit of gold. Right now you don't. Nice.
I've got lots of loot as well that I haven't actually been looking at.
Yeah, that's the loot gets a little hard to manage. We, as I mentioned, added an auto equip type feature.
How many split seconds is this boss gonna last? Do all the rolls happen at once for damage? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was pretty quick. So about 10-second delay, I think, for me.
No one's died yet. Right, well, I think when we get to the top of the tower, we'll probably stop on this one.
Yeah, that's the objective, is the top of the tower, so we're almost there.
Oh, there's a top?
Yeah.
Oh, I see 8 out of 9. All right, okay.
Yeah, that's the length.
I thought it was endless. Okay, well, we'll get to the top then.
There is an endless mode, but
There's a lot of dudes. Tina in the chat says that's a whole army now.
Right, okay, so is this the last floor then?
I believe so.
Huge boss room. Small well room. Treasure. Oh, that's my only 3 options. Okay.
There's a little gold at the end.
Just going through, checking out what I've got. Kip. So are the classes and the names randomly generated? Like,
Yeah, it's randomly generated. The names are pulled from a very large list, like over 600 names. I can't remember if we added weighting to the random dude roll. So it tries to give you something you don't have. I can't recall. It was an idea. I don't know if we ever made it to fruition.
yeah, this is interesting. I've not played anything like this before. Is it based on like something that you've experienced?
No. Well, it initially started out as an idea for making something like a Ute Tower or Sim Tower type game. And then we were discussing and then had the idea of like, oh, basically more fantasy, fighting, dudes fighting stuff. And then it basically just through discussion and trying stuff out, it turned into this. And then just like, oh, there's a tower. Okay, that sounds cool. We'll make the tower rotate. It's kind of like an organic process of just combining ideas and thoughts. Like I play a lot of fantasy, like tabletop stuff, so it's enjoyable having stuff like the, class-based.
Well, quite a few of my dudes have died. That's surprising. That was a really powerful boss, I guess.
Well,
hey,
You win.
And did the helicopter come fetch them at the end, or what?
I wanted to make something a little cooler at the end, but didn't have time, and we're dealing with some bugs with exiting the tower, so it just ended up being.
No, that's a good game.
Oh, thank you.
Fantastic. Cool wobbly winning animation. This is one of the few games that we managed to beat.
I'm actually a little surprised you did a good job, because half the time I end up dying.
Yeah, and I had no idea. I mean, at the start of the game, I thought that it was going to be so complicated that I'd just end up being malicious towards my dudes. And just
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
even
there'll definitely
accidentally.
there'll be some feature stuff like the auto equipping, because managing, you got legendary gear. It's a little annoying to have to go and put it on one of your dudes.
yeah, I think I put like 5 items of gear on my dudes actually at the end of it, because I was like, oh, it's so much. I mean, is this my actual list of gear here? No, I can't go through it.
Yeah, that's another thing, is allowing the user to like look at all their stuff after the fact, because it'd be kind of nice to see what level what's your max level dude and their ending gear. All right.
Yeah, looks like the winning tactic really was getting lots of dudes. Also, Zyko says in chat, I didn't know that buying so many dudes would be efficient. And then, Kettek, do you plan on developing this further after the jam?
We have a list of features that we want to add, and little bug fixes. Like sometimes the bosses, their graphics are not correct. Like there was should have been a skull as the last boss, but it was just a rat called Undeath. So there's like some bugs. So yeah, do want to visit and improve more of it, add more features. Yeah, so there's more work to be done on it.
Yeah, cool. I hope that when the jam's over, you actually do make those changes. So often at the end of a jam, everyone says, oh yeah, I want to add this and that feature, and then after the jam, the motivation's gone. So keep it up.
Yep. All right, cool. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, thanks. It was a fun game, and thanks for jumping into the call.
Yeah.